Hi everyone, it's Stars and Dust coming to you from crystalchalice.com website once again. This week I have another great tutorial for you, so sit back, relax, and let me take the reins for a while. This time around I have a Dreamweaver tutorial for you. Have you ever been frustrated because your two-column layout just isn't floating across your painstakingly created web page like you had hoped? Well, never fear, because I am here to show you just how easily this can be accomplished in my new tutorial, how to create a two-column float layout. First of all, you will need to have Dreamweaver open. What we are trying to do here is to make a side menu bar. In order to do that, we will have to add two div tags to the body section. This will separate the main section and the menu bar into two distinctive parts. Now for the left tag. Highlight the first section of text that you want for your left section. Just like this. Then go up to the top, make sure you're in the Commons tab, and then go across until you find the div tag. Click on the div tag, and then just click OK here. And that created a div around that content that we selected. Now we're going to give an ID of left to this section. Now go to your CSS, and now we'll write the code for the left. Remember to put a pound here. Open curly brace, close curly brace. Background color FFFFE1 semicolon. Text align left. Width 955 pixels, semicolon. Height, colon. Well, it would help if I could spell. 500 pixels. The width is very important here. You have to have a width when you float something, or the float won't come out right. The height isn't all that important, except for when you don't have very much text on the page. The div tag tends to collapse. So it looks a little bit better if you put a height in there. I just put one of 500. You can put anything you want. Make sure you close it with a semicolon, which I had forgotten to do. Okay, float left, padding 20 pixels for everything, so we'll just close it out there. Margin, right here we're going to put a -20, and this is because of a little bug that Internet Explorer has. If you don't put -20 here, you tend to have a double margin float bug, so it's just best to put that in here. Okay, we're going to give this a border too. 545C67. Close it out with a semicolon. Okay, look at your color coding and make sure that it all looks correct, because that is a hint, one of the first hints that you've done something wrong if coding doesn't look right. Okay, and it looks a mess right now because of the fact that we have not put in the sidebar coding yet for the CSS. So we're going to do that next and help that page out. Okay, go back to the source code right here. Okay, here's the HTML for the sidebar. We're going to highlight that, and then we're going to also put a div tag around there. So come across, find your div, click OK, go back to the CSS, and start writing the code for the right. And we're going to have to go back and make sure we put our ID on the source page code because we did not do that. So I'll do that after this. Pound E8 EAFF semicolon. Text align is left and a semicolon. Width. Again, this width is very important. You need to have one for floated elements. I'm going to give this width a 300 pixels and a height so the div tag doesn't collapse on us. Semicolon. Padding 20. Semicolon. Margin. Okay, this time I'm going to float it right, so we want the right side given a -20 instead of the left side as we did on the previous. Okay, we're going to float this to the right. And we're going to give this a border too. 68727C. And a semicolon. And close that out. Okay, we did some. What did we? Oh, I know what's not quite right. We did not add the ID over here. Okay, now for the footer. And the main thing on the footer is to make sure that it clears both. Opening curly brace, closing curly brace, text align, center, width 1350 because it's going to go across the full width of the page for our footer. Height is the height of our footer, and that's 105. Padding top 70, margin top 70. And then this is the part that's important for the footer, because this makes the footer come down and not go up and be right beside the right and the left div tags, because we want it beneath the entire stretch of the two div tags. And close that with a semicolon. And we have our closing brace there. Now, there you have the two columns, and that's not quite right. There you go. Needed to save all in order for it to pick up that bottom footer. Okay, well, there you have it. That's our little tutorial on a 2-column float. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Stars and Dust, and I'll see you next time.